Hello, everyone. My name is Margo Visitation, and I'm a Vice President and Principal Analyst with Forrester Research. Today, I'd like to speak with you about project business automation trends, optimizing value for you and your customers. The top trend that we're all dealing with today, obviously, is COVID 19 and the pandemic and the accompanying recession that is impacting us. It's impacting organizations across the world and across every industry. And what we're seeing with COVID and the accompanying recession is that companies are falling into three buckets: survival mode, adaptive mode, and growth mode. Survival mode is companies forcing to dial back and focus on the absolute essentials for them to stay in business and maintain customer relationships. Industries impacted here are travel, leisure, entertainment, restaurants, discretionary retail, all discretionary spend, really. Oil and gas, people aren't traveling. Um, so oil and gas is being impacted by this as well. Adaptive mode. Here, companies are still running, the industries are still, not seeing a revenue impact per se, but they are adapting to delivering to customers in different ways. So that would be the consumer industrial manufacturing industry, groceries, wholesale, transportation, and professional services. They are still running their businesses, but they are changing the way that they need help from consulting firms because they are changing their business processes. And growth mode. These are the industries that actually are taking advantage of the challenges that are impacting all of us, and they're moving into growth mode. So we're seeing e-commerce, everybody's shopping online. Logistics, think about the number of deliveries that is going out on a daily basis, and that's enabling logistics industry to really take advantage and expand in this environment. Pharmaceutical, obviously, vaccines, medications, and medical equipment. All of these industries are seeing real growth, even though we are in a time of real challenge. CEOs and CFOs across the board, however, they're pressuring CIOs and business partners to cut tech spending by 5 to 15%. Now, what does this mean for the services world? It's complicating services business, but the entire picture isn't dire. Services industries are being impacted by pandemic and recession, and we're seeing it in specific areas, such as a 10% reduction in design services revenue, 17% reduction in administrative services, 5% approximately in legal, accounting, management consulting, and advertising. However, when it comes to government, financial, utilities, telecom, and high tech, those industries and those services businesses are holding firm. Services as a need for business, however, the demand is still remaining strong and important. And even though we are seeing challenges in how projects are being delivered to customers, the demand for service spending remains important. In our most recent survey, we asked organizations how their IT organizations would be spending with third-party business and management consulting or agencies or technology service providers. How would they be impacted over the next 12 months? And what we see is that spending is generally about the same, but some organizations do expect to spend more, increase 5 to 12% over the next 12 months. So spending is still important, spending is still strong, still need to deliver to their customers, and they still need help. But what we are seeing is that spending is now distributed. Ownership. So services firms are not just dealing with IT anymore. They're dealing with IT and equally shared business ownership as well. So dealing with a lot of different customers and dealing with a lot of competition. So, regardless of what industry you're in and the type of services that you're providing, every firm must now be digital in how they deliver value to customers. So, what does that mean? We're all working in different ways, we're all delivering value to our customers, but we have to be digital now in how value is being delivered. So let's talk about professional services organization challenges in a digital world. What we're seeing is a lack of consistency. Most organizations are struggling with this lack of consistency. There's data silos, inconsistent use of business applications, poorly documented processes, and organizational silos. It's not unusual to see different practices have their own sets of governance, have their own ways of delivering projects, and have their own reporting practices. Because of that, you have a lack of available visibility into available resources. And when competition is so strong, it's really difficult that you to not be able to respond because you can't see what your people are working on. Also, lack of visibility into profitability and margin management. When things are being managed manually or in silos, it's very difficult to see how effective you are at managing profitability. That causes financial delays, poor AR reporting processes, managing complex billing and revenue recognition practices when you're working in a manual or a siloed manner, inconsistent billing and expense management. All of that impacts the bottom line. And because of that, it's difficult to have consistent service reporting values, revenue reporting values. Ultimately, that provides disconnects in your planning and your ability to communicate with your customers, your ability to deliver to your customers, and the ability to report back to your business. So there's challenges there in the reporting area, multiple data sources that can lead to inconsistency and inaccuracy, and inconsistent KPIs. So that doesn't allow you to really see how well your organization is performing. And what we see is that the ease of doing business is challenged, and that is what challenges project delivery for services firms. One of the top challenges that we see is ease of doing business. It's hard to bring everyone together at the right time to be responsive to an opportunity, to be able to respond to a customer, to win the business, and then deliver that business consistently in a way that's going to enable you to have better net promoter scores. And when all of that is disconnected, you have that challenge of delivering projects. That's not only financial challenge, it could also be a reputational challenge. Some of this is due to, in this world where everybody's becoming digital, some of this challenge is because professional services firms still operate in an old school manner. They focus on profitability over customer value. In the past, when competition wasn't quite as fierce, there's always been competition, but when there were more long-term managed relationships, between agencies and product companies, between legal and firms, engineering and architecture, when there were longer-term relationships, it was easy to focus on profitability over customer value. But today, every project goes out to bid. The concept of long-term relationships is really starting to dissipate in terms of, I want to get the best value for my money because my competition is so fierce. And that is really driving a change in the way that PSOs need to be thinking. So we're seeing that the new school way of thinking is collaborative work because you're focusing on customer value. You're bringing the customer into the center of your business and using that customer value to drive loyalty, to obtain better net promoter scores, to win repeat business. Firms need a platform and collaboration to optimize how they service their customers. Why? We're all working distributed today. Your consultants, your project team members need to have access to important project information wherever they are. Mobility is key, accessibility is key. Putting the customer at the center of your business and working on delivering greater customer value means that you need to extend that accessibility to your customers. So professional services firms need to be able to provide greater transparency and visibility by bringing their customers in. We're seeing more firms leverage customer portals so that they are involving the customers in just-in-time decision making, to be able to bring team members together and getting the right resources involved at the right time to deliver value faster. That allows you to make better decisions. That allows you to recognize revenue faster because you're delivering value. There are less delays. Need to have information communicated clearly. Dashboards for delivering project information, financial information, resource information, so that the right stakeholders are involved at the right time. Your customers know what's going on, and you can make the right decisions without any delay. They also need better predictability in delivering projects. Therefore, the ability to automate project delivery more effectively, the ability to automate financial information and reporting more effectively allows you to build customer confidence, deliver greater customer value, while also maintaining revenue recognition efficiencies. So you need to be able to improve the way you're delivering projects in order to build that satisfaction and efficiency. And that's also leveraging new technologies like artificial intelligence and helping to build out those automations, machine learning to provide recommendations to get the right resources on the right projects at the right time. So it allows you to work better and more effectively with your customers, with subcontracting, with your financial leaders, and with your business leaders. So that means it's time to break away from old school disconnected systems. When we go into most professional services firms, it looks something like this, where you have customer relationship management, time tracking tools, documents, project information, HR information, accounting, finance. Email is the primary communication process, content management if you're in the marketing or advertising world, and Excel spreadsheets. Everything's disconnected. What does that lead to? Lag. It takes time to identify and find the right information, which then causes delays in making the right decisions. Old school disconnected systems cannot allow you to deliver in a digital world. You've got to find a better way of servicing your customers. That's where we're seeing a turn to project business automation. So what is project business automation? How is that different than the tools that we've seen around for a long time in the professional services world? Project business automation removes the disconnect, and it actually emphasizes every element of running a services business, from pipeline management to project management, resource management, HR for onboarding needed talent to be able to respond to your customers, collaboration capabilities, managing finance and expenses, all serviced by a centralized platform or repository so that you have access to the right information at the right time without delay. That enables faster decision making, and that supports better customer value. Project management and customer-facing project-oriented capabilities are absolutely essential in and are a core piece of project business automation. And the example here is, perhaps you are in the in the architecture space, and you need contract management and project management, obviously, to be able to deliver to your customers. Potentially, you may be looking out to attract new talent and participate in industry events. So you need event planning, campaign management if you're delivering marketing services for the work that you're doing. All of that customer facing project oriented work that is part of a services industry needs process information as well to help deliver successful projects. So think about if you're bidding and delivering on projects for your customers, you need RFP support. You need to work very closely with your HR organization to make sure that you are discovering, recruiting, and bringing on the right talent to be able to support your customers. If you are dealing with a lot of subcontracting and you're building a partnership network there, you've got to be able to have that partner collaboration, responding to customers' RFPs. All of those business facing, process oriented work needs to support the customer facing project work. And how do you do that? You need collaboration as the thread to provide the knowledge needed for successful customer delivery. You need to be able to fuse together that customer and operational work to provide a great experience for your customers. And essentially, what you need is an operational system of record. Professional services firms need an operational system of record. Why? Think about it. In terms of your customers, you know everything about your customers. It's all stored in your CRM system. You've got customer information, sales information, opportunities, contacts. You know all of your financial information. It's stored in your ERP system or your finance system. Accounts receivable, accounts payable, general ledger, expenses, all of that. You know every dollar coming in, every dollar going out. You have insight into that. But when you think about how you actually run your business, if you're running old school and running disconnected systems, you don't have insight into bids, resources, projects, finance. You're scrambling and looking to all those disconnected systems. PSOs need an operational system of record so that they can respond quickly to opportunities. They can support their consultants with the right resources at the right time, and they can reconcile and receive revenue and recognize that revenue more effectively because everything is tied together. So how does project business automation support value delivery? Revisit that slide that we looked at earlier. It's a customer-centric approach on a single platform that helps them service their customers. Thinking about presenting information, getting that transparency and that clarity around how your business is doing so you can make the right decisions at the right time. You're providing, via project business automation, accessibility to your remote employees, your consultants servicing customers in a really challenging environment. You're helping provide ease of access, ease of use, and transparency and visibility for them so they know what they need to do to service their customers. You have accessibility for everyone that's involved. Customer portal, bringing your customer in, showing them value faster, helping them in the decision-making process so that you do achieve those greater outcomes. That helps build better predictability, having the right level of automation to service projects more effectively and collect revenue more efficiently. And finally, smart services through AI and machine learning to know that you can respond to a project, automate remote activities for remote employees so that you're delivering the right projects for the right customer and you're delivering the right value at the right time. So I'd like to wrap it up with some recommendations. As a company, put the customer at the center of your project delivery business and recognize that you need the right systems and platforms in place to strong usage of collaboration to support project delivery in order to drive better outcomes and ultimately better customer relationships. You want to look for the technology that's going to remove the barriers to doing business, consolidate where it makes sense, support the right processes, and all of that builds speed of use and that necessary digital delivery in today's business world. Finally, centralize data, process management, and reporting for greater efficacy. That's how you run a customer-oriented business. Thank you for your time today, and please enjoy the rest of the conference.